Don't ask what's in my cup. Hey, it's Yay. Hey, it's Yay. Hello, everyone. It is Yay. Back with another episode of Don't Ask What's in My Cup. And today, we have another special guest. But before I get into it, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. Also, follow me on Instagram at Sippin' with Yay. That's Sippin' No G-Y-E. Tune in. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce my special guest of the hour, and he's going to give us a little bit about who he is, what he does, and then we're going to get into it. So
Cool. Hey guys, my name is Michael. I am a former, me and I are now colleagues, but we were former high school mates. We both attended Noble Street charter schools, Gary Coleman College Prep. Shout out to class of 14. Now, a little bit about myself. I am a native of the South Side of Chicago. Currently, I am an undergraduate student at Loyola University, and I am also I also work in tech at a company called Sprout Social. It's a social media management company. So that's a little bit about what I do. Yeah.
okay, come on, undergrad. What are you majoring in?
Period. So I am majoring in business administration with a concentration in corporate strategy.
Okay, because you're trying to make the big dollars. Okay, I love it. I'm rooting for you.
Listen, if I don't, who will?
You're right. That's true. So we're gonna just get into it. So I'm curious of what are some of your values? I know you said you're a Chicago native, but what are some of your values?
So here lately, I've really been like doing some mass like self-reflection, introspection, especially as I'm journeying this life of adulthood, and also just kind of like coming into my own. Really, like some of the things that I just kind of like hold close to heart is one, being selfless. I'm a wholehearted believer that we are here for a purpose, and that purpose is really to edify and really pour into others. If you can't already tell, I grew up in a church, so a lot of my core beliefs are going to be centered around that. So along those lines too, another one that I believe is having courage. There have been a multitude of instances in my life just within the past 5 years alone where my strength and my willpower has been tested. And it really got to a point where I really like legit just had to like pull from deep down within and realize like, Michael, like you have the shit to do this, like you can keep going. So those are probably going to be the top two for me that I can think of like off the top.
Okay, piggybacking off of that. So what are those things that keep you grounded? Like,
yeah, family for sure. Very unique situation with my family, but just to give a gist, I really enjoy being around my people, fellowshipping with my people, really just enjoying that time. I have a slew of nephews, a niece on the way. Shout out to my sister. Come next month. And those are just like the little things that like really like just keep, that spark in my life. And also just like personal development and just personal like progression. I have goals that I really want to set out for myself, and there's a certain place that I see myself in the future, and I can't stop till I get there. So, yeah.
I love that. I'm big on family too. Like that's what keeps me going.
Y'all family is huge.
Yep. And we all like this. So, well, I'm connected to a lot of them like this. They had
I'm already knowing. I remember coming over your house I don't remember what it was. I think it was after church or something. I came over there and it was like playing cards. I was like, oh my God, y'all family is super huge.
And that's just the usuals. Like we ain't even
Exactly right.
got Yep. Family is a big part of my upbringing. So I definitely get that. So what are some of your biggest accomplishments thus far or greatest accomplishments thus far?
Okay. That's far. That's far. Um, let's see. I don't know, you guys. Like, I say this like not even like ostentatious, but I'm like super humble. Like when it comes down to really like pointing out things that I do, I really don't like give myself as much credit as I should. So answering questions like this is pretty like hard for me. But I would have to say some of my greatest accomplishments. Um, well, for one, going to college, that's a big accomplishment, especially in being a minority, a first generation student, and then just being of the African American culture. We don't see those plights often. So, and really sticking with it is also another great accomplishment. I will also say penetrating within the tech arena, as far as like my professional like work life. Um, I recently did an internship with one of the more named companies, if you will, LinkedIn. So that was a pretty big accomplishment. And now I work for another scaling company called Sprout Social, as I mentioned earlier, which we just went public. Like, it's a really fast growing company, and they're really like trendy right now. Honestly, like the value prop that we add is really going to be relevant for a very long time. So, very proud to say that though that arena, I was able to kind of acclimate to, penetrate, and now like really kind of plant myself within that and kind of spread my wings. So.
I like that. I like that. Um, what are any goals that you have that you may not want to accomplish just this year, but in the future? What's like some of your big plans?
Cool, cool, yeah. Uh, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, been doing a lot of introspection just about like life in general. So kind of planning that out has been pretty relevant as of late. So one of the things I really want to get to, which I've kind of worked on already, and just really just diving myself deeper into, is more so financial literacy. I really want to get to the point where like I know how to manage my money. I know exactly like how to strategically plan my money, and then also invest it as well, so that I see dividends on my money. So that's probably one of the biggest things that's been pretty relevant on my mind. Long term, I really plan on going into home ownership, uh, probably sooner than later. We'll see how that goes, depending on how I work this year. But that is probably like one of my long term goals for like the next 2 years.
Okay, okay. Um, you kind of talked about how you done dibbled and dabbled, and I also personally know that your path wasn't just this one way. So like, what was those moments like, and like, how did you figure out what was for you?
So it took a lot of introspection, guys. When I tell you, like, honestly, like, this is no cap, but therapy is a wonder. And I highly promote just like prioritizing mental health within the Black community. But that avenue specifically, I highly recommend people take advantage of it. Because so often we see in our community that we suppress these feelings, these generational cycles that we continue to just go through and we don't express. Uh, and really having a neutral party and really having a external party, help you kind of cope through that, talk through that, and even realize some things that you may not know that you were dealing with is very, very, very crucial. Um, I would also say being vulnerable as well. I had a very, very, very hard time doing this, and it didn't happen until I went away to college and was on my own, really navigating this thing called life, really navigating this thing called adulthood, and just in this new space of like really learning, this new Michael. So it took a very, very high level of vulnerability, because it got to a point where I needed help. Like I couldn't do things on my own. Like I was like at rock bottom. And I reached out for help. And honestly, it was at that moment when I began to reach out to help, and I really just like expressed what was going on, my situation. So many doors began to open. Legit, like I can't even just like I really can't even just like describe everything that kind of happened when I began to become vulnerable and really express myself and reach out for help. Because at that point, um, so many people were willing to help. So many people put in good words to me. Uh, Again, like I said, so many opportunities were granted to me. Even down to like the job that I am now, the job that I'm in now, and even my opportunity to work at the previous job that I was in. And those things just like pay dividends, honestly, like long long term. So um that was probably like at the point where I really realized like, you know, Michael, like this you just can't do this by yourself. Like you need help. So yeah.
I love that. I feel like us as Black people, one of the hardest things for us to do is just to ask for help. Like,
Yes. It's
I,
pride. I mean
in a lot
it's
of these
pride.
new spaces I've been in, it's just so
Yeah.
much like, I'm not trying to be
Sorry,
like
fixing
it's a
my
black and
headphones.
white thing, but it kind of is because
Yeah.
my white counterparts are like, I don't get it. This doesn't make sense. And they're willing to do that. I'm sitting there like,
Yeah.
I'm going to keep
Legit.
nodding my head. Like, I understand.
And even in the workplace, like I will not lie, like being a minority, I'm very intimidated, and this is another thing too. I dealt with, and I kind of still deal with, but I've learned how to cope with it. But imposter syndrome, and I'm not sure
Yes.
if anybody out there is familiar with the term, but it's basically, in a nutshell, feeling like you don't belong where you exist, or you're not enough to be in the space that you are operating in. So being a minority, I mean, honestly, like I feel that way oftentimes in spaces, especially when I am outnumbered by my counterparts in race, class, however you want to kind of divide it up. So really dealing with that and just working through that, like you have to be vulnerable. You have to really let down that guard and lean on um, counterparts or people who are older than you, or reaching out to get a mentor. I would definitely say that that's another process. Get you a mentor. My mentor has been and still is one of the most pivotal parts of my success right now. So definitely would encourage that as well.
I love that. I was just about to bring up imposter syndrome because, again, you speaking to me because I definitely struggle with that. I know that I am destined for so much greatness, but I'm always in the way of that. Like I'm always thinking of
We can be our biggest critic. That's
man, man, yeah. Man. Yeah. You said a mouthful right there. Like I'm always in spaces, and I'm like, I don't like they gonna think me to like this and that. It's like, well, Naya, right. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
If it was literally like, and honestly, like that'd be it. And sometimes I literally have to like check myself, like, bruh, like you here for a reason. Like you bring a unique perspective, and even to this day, like as of recently, I really had to realize that even in the position I'm in now, like my team has a very strong community, which I love it. They really embrace me with open arms, and my company in general has embraced me with open arms. But I still, I mean, I can't fight the feeling of, feeling like this newbie and like I don't belong, like I'm not worthy to be here. And I really had to be like, bro, like you bring a unique perspective, like you bring a unique background, you bring unique experiences to the table. And that's something that you can say that no one else has. Like what you've been through, your life story is literally something that you can hold to yourself and say that no one else can tell, or no one else can say that they've been through this, or walk this journey. So yeah, definitely.
And
Gotta
being a mentor, like having a mentor is one thing, but I think we are transitioning to the point where we are going to be the mentor.
For sure.
So I'm curious of what role you feel like you play within your communities, because I know you make a lot of connections everywhere you go. So what role do you think that you play in that?
So I would say it's twofold. In some capacities, I am like a sponge, like you said, really networking, really trying to get connected with people, and even not even just like personal gain, but I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. I love learning new people, just for the sake of it, because you never know who someone is. Like you never know what may come out of that opportunity, and you never know what you may provide for that person. Because like you said, you may be a mentor for an individual, and you may not even know it. So Uh, in some respects, I'm like a sponge. In some respects, I would say I'm definitely a mentor. I feel like, especially as I'm growing into this thing called adulthood, I'm learning to really, lift as I climb and really help those who are behind me to really avoid some of the mistakes that I made, like some of the ignorant mistakes I made because I just didn't know. And I would hate to see, people I can literally help advise before they get to that point as well. And then in some capacities, I feel like I'm the glue. I
Yeah.
love bringing people together. I love people meeting new people. So not just even myself, but my friends, my colleagues, meeting new individuals. And if I can help in any type of way of getting you connected with somebody, like I'm all down, like 100%. So um, yeah, I just love to see people soaring, happy in their prime, and living their best life, honestly. So.
Yeah. I love that glue element because I be trying to explain like my role because I'm
Mhm.
always like the person like I'm only there to make sure that everybody get there. Like
Yeah, it's
I'm the
yeah,
meeting point.
honestly,
Like
right.
and sometimes that's all it takes. It's like
And that's
everything else will happen.
honestly,
Hmm.
exactly. Yeah, no,
I
like
like
legit, and I'm okay with that. Like,
I like that.
I can take the background for a second, and let y'all do your thing. So,
Okay, well, I'm gonna get you off the hot seat for a second. Do you have any questions for me?
um, yeah, I'm actually curious. So, what kind of made you start this platform? What was the like thought process behind it? Like, what made you venture off into this avenue? Of course, I've known you for quite some time. So I just kind of want to pick your brain on like what uh, made you get to this point or, venture off
Yeah.
into this?
Yeah. So basically, I've always been looking for like an avenue or looking for ways to connect with people. That's something that I value a lot. And so was always trying to think about different things, trying to figure out which direction I want to go in and things like that. And then my best friend Treasure, she started talking about how she wanted to start her own business doing video editing and using her major and actually doing all of those different things, branding, etc. And so with that, it made me say like, maybe I should be like one of your clients. So I was like one of her first clients to actually like sign up and like actually trust her with the process, sign my contract, got on payroll with her and things like that. And honestly, I still was a little bit more like not sure what I wanted to bring to YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a look, I'm a little delayed when it comes to social media, but I knew it was an avenue that I could connect with youth, and I tend to have very strong relationships with youth in my past. So I'm like, I want to be able to connect with them. So I'm trying to figure out that avenue. And so then we started doing different things. And I know I did yearbook when I was at Comer. And one of the things I did naturally and like came naturally was doing the interview process and like talking to people and getting them to say certain things that I want to like pull out of different individuals. And so I'm like, I want to start doing interviews. And at first I was like, I don't know who to talk to. I don't want to reach out. I'm scared. And I had to realize, like you said, I have a network. I have a network and I have resources and I need to tap into those. So that's kind of how we got here. And now, I'm about to come up on a year of doing this.
Period. Let's go. Beautiful though. No, that's I hats off to you. I commend you honestly. Um, and even like you and Treasure kind of like doing the thing together, doing a duo, like that's beautiful just to see you guys coming, like your passions coming to fruition, and really like step out on that, like because it's not easy, like putting yourself out there, being in front of people, like millions of people, because we don't know at this point like who this may reach, who may see this. So definitely love that and definitely commend you for that as well.
Yeah. You never know the when and the where. Any other questions that you have?
Um, I don't know. I'm very bad at asking questions. At least on the spot, I'm really bad at asking questions.
Hey, I
Let me
just hope
think.
I can answer.
Uh, I don't know. Oh, so what are you doing now outside of this? Like, what's your typical
Okay.
9 to 5 volunteer? What does that look like
Okay.
for you?
9 to 5, I work for a non-for-profit called City Year. So I am an impact manager. So I am managing young adults that are in the classes, tutoring and mentoring students in Chicago public schools. So that's my 9 to 5. My extracurriculars, because just like you, I'm always busy. I just actually accepted the position as vice president of the Noble Alumni Association. So that is a title that I have, and they've been like reaching out to me like to be on panels and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just got here. What's going on? So that is something in the works. And then also my YouTube. And I'm also considering going back to school. So I've been inquiring and seeing how that will go. So that's where I'm at right now.
Cool. That is what's it. Shout out to the NAA, BT Dubs.
Yeah, definitely called you like, so what's needed? Can I do this?
Yeah, exactly. No, for real. And even stuff like that, like I am an open book. I'm a little busy, slight busy, but I try to be as available.
I feel like we always end up connecting randomly at
for sure. Yeah, legit. No, that's so funny. I actually, I can see that for sure.
Like whether it's like a little social event, some type of networking event, and I'll be like, literally, Michael, where you come from? Like, what's going on?
And it's so crazy because it's like we never stop talking. So
exactly. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I would advise people is just not to burn bridges, because again, you never know when you need to cross that bridge again. Like I get, forget them, I don't need them. And then it's like, okay, 10 years later, that might be your boss. Or
you never know. Exactly.
You never know. So
for sure.
Definitely don't burn them bridges. Also, it is going to be the start of Women's History Month in March. So I'm curious of what do you love about Black women or the women that's in your life?
Honestly, this is a loaded answer more so. But women have literally been like a pivotal, Black women, I should say, have been a pivotal like support system in my life, honestly. Growing up, I really didn't have like many male mentors or much male guidance. So women kind of like stepped in the gap, including my mom, cousins, aunties. So I thoroughly like commend our women. You all are like persevere legit, like through so much, whether that be like on a systematic level, a familial level, like you guys persevere and y'all make stuff happen. Almost, excuse my verbiage because I almost said something else, but you get it. I'm sorry, but y'all get it done. Y'all get it done. And I could truly say that you guys are our champions for sure. So, and I think for me that's admirable. Like, and sometimes I was like, I ain't doing that. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't feel like sacrificing. Like, and one thing comes to mind, I know my sister, like, she has 3 little boys and 3 little nephews. Like, I don't know. Listen, I can't deal with one. So 3, let alone. So, like, y'all legit get it done. And we have seen that, right? We have a Black woman within our vice presidential seat. Like, y'all making it happen. I mean, a whole female cabinet in the White House. So
come on.
So yeah, and like I mean, y'all doing the thing, and I can't even hold you. Like, it's admirable. So
definitely,
and I
feel
think
like
so
it's
often,
coming to our time. I do feel like
yeah, for sure. Because so
overdue.
often you guys have been overlooked. Like legit, like y'all at the forefront now. So and it's definitely y'all do season for sure. So
I love that. Thank you. Okay. Any other last dire questions that you have?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Nah, just letting the people know I'm an open book. If you want to reach out to me, learn more about my story, learn more about tech. I don't know, like whatever. If you just want to connect, I'm down for a conversation. You can follow me on my handles. I don't know if I is gonna put them below, but I'm gonna point down below. I actually want to always do that. Follow me below. My IG is Mikey is the major key. it's a little pun on that. So my key is the major key, but it's spelled Mikey.
It'll definitely be below. So make sure you
Then my
check
Facebook is Michael Mobley. Them about the only two ones I really use. So that's probably where you can catch me at. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have, folks.
Well, thank you for coming. Again, it's always a pleasure to connect with you. It's always a good time. I love you. I am rooting for you. I'm praying for you with this whole school thing because I don't know.
Listen, I need all y'all prayers. Keep going.
Giving all the energy that way because baby,
it
with
ain't
working,
for the faint of heart. It ain't for the faint of heart. Let me tell you.
Sending all the energy, positive, productive energy your way because it takes a village. Ain't that what they say? It takes a village.
That part, the whole village.
Yes. And I know you're destined for greatness as well. So just remember little old me when you become famous, doing whatever you want to do. When you become your millionaire status with all that corporate talk you talking. Just remember me too.
For sure.
But that is all I have. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, don't forget to subscribe. I see you all that's watching without subscribing. You might as well subscribe. I don't understand the problem. Anyway, make sure you follow him. I'm telling you, this is a good mentor. Go ahead, tune in to the next one. Also follow me on social media at Sippin' with Ye. That's Sippin' No G-Y-E. Tune in. And that's all we have. Go forward, shed love and shed light. And don't ask what's in my cup.